Hey Henry, how's it going?
Yep.
You had a really good game on Friday night. Just what was working for you, and after watching some film and stuff, just what did you see that made you and kind of the whole running back room so successful on Friday?
Just being downhill, keeping our head forward, moving the chains, getting what we could get. It's just really just moving the chain, make sure our offense just keep going and just get off the field.
Go to Susan Miller Degnan from the Miami Herald.
Hey, Henry. Last year you had a very nice game against Texas A&M. What do you remember from that game? I know you guys in the red zone had struggles and stuff, but what are your memories from that game? And having played them, what do you expect this year, and how do you guys have to improve as far as the running goes and scoring and all that?
Just eliminating petty little mistakes, like penalties, flags, and stuff like that. Just beating ourselves. That's what I feel like we beat ourselves last year, and this year we have a more competitive group, and just these guys ready to work, and I'm looking forward to that.
Also, Don Chaney, I'm not sure if I asked you this after the game, but how nice was it to see him score? He had that super touchdown. He's had a tough couple of years.
Yeah, it was good to see my boy back out there, getting his feet back wet. Like I said, all the guys behind him, and just, we want to see him succeed, and that's what he did out there Friday night.
Matt Shodell from Kane Sport. Matt.
Yeah, hey Henry. You guys, I guess you're like a fearsome foursome, which is usually a defensive line thing, but the four of you obviously did really, really well. How do you like, last year you had to carry the load pretty much by yourself. How much do you like this? Is this something that you sort of relish, that you can get some rest, that you can sort of play your game, be in the situations that you do best? Is that something that you like, being in a four-man rotation?
Of course, it's all about if you see the bats now, like it's pretty hard, like and to keep guys fresh and just keep rotating, and I feel like that's a good spot, because last year I was in a pretty tough spot, carrying it. But this year I feel like with all the guys we have now, like you can just throw in anybody and they could get the job done.
Go back to Adam.
Hey again. You may just heard me ask Kiko a minute ago, but Mark Fletcher just seems like a really impressive back. I know he was all throughout high school. To kind of see him, have a solid performance in his first college game and kind of run over some guys and run around some guys, show off speed and power. What was it like watching him, in his first game?
It was good, he's a freshman, and it's hard for a freshman to play and just come from high school and just get in, like and see Mark getting out there and doing what he do. It was a fun experience, and I'm happy to share the load with him and be in the backfield with him. So it's a good experience, and I'm just looking forward to what this year holds for us.
So Matt, after watching film and stuff, since Friday, just what were some of the high points that you guys identified on the O line in film, and maybe some of the things you want to work on?
How you doing?
I think from a high point perspective, I think we across the board, offensive linemen, the receivers, the quarterback, TVD, running back. I think we ran the offense efficiently and kind of what we were had in the game plan for Miami of Ohio. I think from a physical standpoint, the offensive line and the tight ends and the backs and everyone, even on the perimeters, getting involved in blocking. I think we were physical. We pushed them around. Definitely like imposed our will, imposed our style of play on them for all 60 minutes, for all however many 70 reps, however many offensive reps we had. And then on the flip side, I think we just got to keep pushing to stay in shape, and as we go, every game, every week, every practice, like keep getting in better and better and better shape as we go. But overall, I thought it was a good, well executed debut game one for us.
Go to Susan Miller Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan.
Hey, Matt. What did you think of your running game? It was great, and how gratifying, I guess, was that? And also, what do you expect? This is not going to be a push around kind of game, probably. What do you expect from Texas A&M also?
Yeah, I mean, last Friday, we had like four running backs, so we're all getting after it, all had good stats, yards per carry, and then how many yards we got on offense, average, including the pass plays. I thought it was all impressive. From a run game standpoint, I thought the five of us and and Cam McCormick and the other tight ends involved. And when we went into jumbo sets and whatnot and got Samson and Matt in there as tackle tight ends, I thought they did a great job and it was well executed all night. Texas A&M, great defensive line, great front seven, really good team, really good defense, got a lot of good guys on their personnel. And, we got to run the ball effectively, throw the ball downfield and execute, be smart, do all the things that we got to do to win.
Go back to Adam.
Hey again. So what do you think of Francis's first game? I mean, he had some good moments. I think he had a hold and a false start called on him. Just how would you, evaluate his first game, and then what were the conversations like with him after the game?
I thought it was great. Really, I mean, he's 18 years old. He's a true freshman. That was his first collegiate football game of his career. Went out, played 61 snaps, played a good game, graded out well. Obviously, you're going to have bumps here and there, especially his first game. He's, he just got to college, his first game, but immediately after the game and in the meeting room, I don't want to say he's beating himself up, but he's very much holding himself accountable for every little error that he'll make, which is a great quality that he has. Very self-aware and doesn't think of himself as super high or somebody that's super humble, which is going to help him develop throughout the season in his career. But I was impressed. I mean, I'm always impressed with CC. The guy, mentally, physically, he's a beast, and he's going to keep getting better all year.
Go to Marcus Benjamin from Keynes County. Marcus.
Hey, Matt, just wanted to ask about practicing against your teammates and how that is going to help you in the game against Texas A&M. So how do their schemes kind of compare, and how does that help you prepare for A&M?
Yeah, like when we're in practice and obviously, when we're going against scout team, right, they're replicating Texas A&M defense or whatever given opponent we're going to be playing and running the schematics that they're going to run. But when we do get to periods throughout practice where we're going good on good and, 1v1s, Texas A&M does have multiple aspects to their defense. So they will go in a 4-down and even front. They will get an odd and they will do a little bit of exotic stuff. And being able to go against Coach Guidry's defense, for however many sets each day on our padded practice days is always good, because not only do they run multiple likewise each other, but like Texas A&M, but they're going to do stuff like stem and move the front pre-snap. So there's a lot of carryover and parallels between the two. So just help us prepare, and really being able to go against multiple like that against, higher caliber players in practice in comparison to when you're going against like scout, getting to go against ones and stuff is always really good, just for being ready, being fast, staying on your stuff.
Go to Brandon O'Doy from Football Hotbed. Brandon, you're on mute.
Sorry, I thought I pressed. Matt, I'm just curious, is there a difference? I mean, you got kind of 3 different backs that played, and just primarily most of the carries went to Henry and Mark. Is there a difference when either one of those guys are in as far as like blocking or anything, just being kind of ignorant to like, being an offensive lineman, or is it pretty much the same thing as far as?
I think every back, when you talk about all 3 of those guys all have different personalities and their running style and how they're going to run the football. But at the end of the day, given any run concept, whatever the blocking scheme is, whatever the intent of the play is, it doesn't matter if it's Mark Fletcher in there, if it's Henry Parrish in there, if it's A.J. Allen in there, Don Chaney. It's not going to impact how we block the play. Now, depending on who it is, they might hit something differently. Their vision's going to be different. How they want to carry the ball, run the ball is going to be slightly different, especially when they're in the open field. But, a run play is going to be the same execution and the same intent of the play, regardless of who's in the backfield. And the running back's going to treat it that way as well.
Chris Stock from InsideTheU.
Hey, Matt, just curious what you noticed from Texas A&M's defensive line, and then also just preparation for a game. How much film do you personally like to do to prepare yourself for a game?
Yeah, Texas A&M, first off, their defensive line and really the whole front seven, they're all really good football players. They're 2 deep in their front 4 when they go in their 4-down fronts in there and they're out and they put one of their DNs at the rush position. They're all impressive, big, strong, powerful guys. There's no slouches on the Texas A&M defense, and you wouldn't expect that either. But from like a preparation film standpoint, I like to get in as much as I can. I don't, go friggin' all day and sit there 12 hours and watching film, but But every day, obviously we watch film together a lot, every single morning or every single afternoon, and when we have meetings and whatnot. But on my own, I like to get in there at least for however many hours. And I don't really keep track, whether it's watching film, whether it's studying their personnel or their schematics, what they do, and what I need to know, given any pass play, run play, what I need to be able to identify and get us on the right page. Depending on their scheme at the moment. But I'll watch a bunch of film. I like to be as prepared as I can just because it's going to help everybody else come game time.
Hey, Kiko. I remember when we talked to you on Friday night, you were like saying that, yeah, we played really good, but, there were things we can probably do better. After watching film and stuff, I guess what were some of the things that you guys identified on defense that you want to do better this week?
I mean, there's always room for improvement, and on the film, you can really see like where we had our weaknesses at, and we just kind of one of the weaknesses that one of the mistakes was just mental mistakes. Was just doing your assignment. I think one of the plays where I missed my gap, and it was just a minor mistake that everybody should know before entering the game. So it wasn't a lot, but we just gotta keep striving to be perfect. But, yeah.
Any more questions for Kiko? I'm sure someone has one. Go back to Adam.
I'll keep going. And after kind of similarly watching, studying up a bit on A&M, what are some of the biggest challenges that you've seen presented by their offense?
They have a really good offense. They got a really good quarterback who can throw and can run too. They got a really big offensive lineman, and they on the film they look good. We just gotta be well prepared. Just everybody doing their business, and we'll be good. I think Coach G got a good scheme for us, and all we got to do now is just execute and adjust. So that's how we're attacking it day by day.
Go to Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan?
Hey, Kiko. Hey, what was the conversation like between you and Francis after the game? After you went home or whatever. What'd you guys talk about? What'd you tell him? What did he tell you about his first game?
I just asked him how he felt after the game, and he's been very mature, and I think he grew up really fast. He just said, it's just another game. So I'm proud that he's handling it like a mature man, and he's good. But yeah, we just keep getting ourselves better. Told him on a few mistakes he had that I kind of picked out and to get better at. So yeah, that was basically our conversation after the game.
Hey, thank you. Also, how do you feel about the rotation at linebacker? A lot of guys are playing, and how does that help?
There's a lot of competition going on in our room, and I think it's a good scheme. Get fresh people out there, so we can run full speed every time. It's a good way to get people off of their feet for a little bit, and I think it's just a good competition. I'm just excited to play and play with my brothers.
One more thing, the fans. I know. I'm sure you guys want to fill the stadium up. How nice is that for you? I know you've said you're focused on the game, but do you notice the fans at all? Does it help when they fill it up?
Yeah, I mean, fans were. It was an exciting. I was excited to get into that stadium and play. The fans did a great job. Making noise. It was just amazing atmosphere to play in. So yeah.
All right, I'll go back to Adam for the last question.
Hey again, number 3 for me. But one of the guys who really stood out on Friday was Mark Fletcher. Running over people, running around people.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him in practice, and how nice is it to see him, be able to do that against another team now?
It wasn't a shocking moment, we see it in practice. He runs the ball really hard. He's just aggressive, and he doesn't phase away from tackles. He'll make somebody miss, and he does that in practice. So I'm not surprised that he had a touchdown and ran a couple yards, and it was just how he is. He got a lot of expectations, and he felt his those shoes. So yeah.